I think we're going to have a fantastic relationship for a long period of time.
I always believe that China's development goes hand in hand with your vision to make America great again.
New York Times, this is what they wrote. The art of letting Trump claim a win while walking away stronger. Mr. Xi's message seemed to be Beijing had proven its capacity to hit back and Washington would do well to remember it. Then on the right, Eric Doherty wrote on X, breaking, President Trump just scored a massive victory in his meeting with Chinese President Xi. Neither one of those is accurate. President Trump and Xi Jinping met yesterday, and here's the thing. You see two splits. You see the left saying, Xi cooked Trump. Oh my God, this is a disaster. Look, it just shows what a feckless leader we have. And then you have people on the right saying, Trump owned Xi. It's not even close. This is great for America. I actually think this is a pretty good litmus test as to who you trust, who you want to listen to. Neither one is being very honest. I would say if you take it all together, spoiler alert, it's kind of neutral. Not as much happened as you would think. But here's a brief montage so you're all caught up.
Well, thank you very much. It's a great honor to be with a friend of mine, really for a long time now, if you think about it. The very, very distinguished and respected president of China. And we will be having some discussions. I think we've already agreed to a lot of things, and we'll agree to some more right now. But President Xi is a great leader of a great country. And I think we're going to have a fantastic relationship for a long period of time.
I always believe that China's development goes hand in hand with your vision to make America great again. Our two countries are fully able to help each other succeed and prosper together. Over the years, I have stated in public many times that China and the United States should be partners and friends.
Okay, so the meeting lasted about an hour, 45 minutes. Let me give you some reactions from the left. Check the references. New York Times, this is what they wrote. The art of letting Trump claim a win while walking away stronger. Mr. Xi's message seemed to be Beijing had proven its capacity to hit back and Washington would do well to remember it. Ooh. And there was a lot of this. I'm just giving you some examples here. Then on the right, Eric Doherty wrote on X, breaking, President Trump just scored a massive victory in his meeting with Chinese President Xi. China is going to buy USA oil and gas from Alaska. That's on top of buying 12 million metric tons of soybeans this season. That's 25 million tons per year for 3 years. China is curbing fentanyl trafficking. Trump is reducing tariffs to 47 from 57%. This is a win, all caps exclamation. Neither one of those is accurate, to be clear. And I'm just trying to be objective, call balls and strikes here. Before I get to that, this is fun. President Trump claimed it went very well in the way you would expect Trump to claim it.
We're going to issue a statement on some of the details. But overall, I guess on the scale of from 0 to 10, with 10 being the best, I would say the meeting was a 12. Okay, I think it was a 12.
I love how he doubles down. He's like, yeah, I think it was a 12.
Now, here's the thing. He's going to do that. All presidents are going to trumpet their wins or try and spin it as a win. It's not a loss, to be clear. But people in media need to do their job, which is to try and be somewhat accurate. And you can list your opinion, of course. This is mainly a comedy show. But I'm never going to lie to you. And I see too much of it where I'm like, yeah, legacy media was awful, but the fake news thing has gotten out of hand across the board, where they used to select their facts, right? And there would be a lot of lies by omission on legacy media. And now you do have people who just make things up completely. I'm not saying that's the case right here specifically on every point, but it often is. So let me lay the groundwork here. President Trump, before this, said that South Korea would be getting nuclear subs. But he said, our military alliance is stronger than ever before, and based on that, I have given them approval to build a nuclear-powered submarine rather than the old-fashioned and far less nimble diesel-powered subs that they have now. A great trip with a great president of South Korea. And by the way, good news, that sub it's going to be built in Philadelphia. So they're going to build these submarines here. That's good for jobs. He also said that the United States was going to restart their nuclear testing.
Which I'm a little concerned about. Why?
Well, to make sure they work.
Got to set one off every
It's like,
once in a while.
you gotta, if you have like a vintage car, a classic car, you have to run it every now and then.
Okay.
You can't just let it sit idle.
Can we test them in China?
That'd be fun.
I don't know. I think we're low on radiation here. Maybe put a little more of that in the air.
But he did say we're going to test it. He said, I hated to do it, but I had no choice.
Built up our weapons,
Yeah, talking about weapons and then mentioning Russia, China, that I think it's a show of strength. There have been no tests of our nuclear weapons since 1992.
Oh.
So
Jeez.
some people are saying it's a show of force. Some people are saying it's actually something necessary on a technical level. And some people are saying that this really just has the makings of a classic standoff. And you may say that was needlessly long. I say it was just the right length.
Perfect.
Key developments, tariffs related to fentanyl.
I've agreed, as you know, I put a 20% tariff on China because of the fentanyl coming in, which is it's a big tariff. And based on the statements today, I reduced it by 10%, so it's 10% instead of 20%, effective immediately.
What will your new tariff rate on China's goods be once you sign a deal?
Other than what the tariffs are made exactly the same.
55%.
It's about, it was 57, now it's 47.
And how long?
Because we reduced it by the fentanyl.
So that's not super significant. By the way, all we've really seen is Xi Jinping saying he'll cut down on fentanyl.
Yeah.
Which, in my opinion, isn't enough. But you also see why
worthless.
Donald Trump started off with really high tariffs.
Yeah.
Because he can reduce it. It's carrot and stick. Rare earths, that's a big thing, right? China agreed to roll back some of the October sort of stipulations on rare earth exports. But the answer, again, is not fully clear.
We'll negotiate at the end of the year. But all of the rare earth has been settled. And that's for the world. I mean, worldwide. This, I guess you could really say this was a worldwide situation, not just a U.S. situation.
Is that a one-year pause on the policy they announced?
It's a one-year agreement, and we'll extend it after a year.
And what will
like we do.
Like we do.
Yeah, like we do. Then the final answer here, a lot of people had questions about this. He wasn't really clear on the business between NVIDIA and China, but he did say that NVIDIA's their Blackwell chips
Yeah, the advanced ones.
were pretty much off the table.
We did discuss chips, and they're going to be talking to NVIDIA and others about taking chips. Look, we make great chips. NVIDIA is the leader. And I'll be speaking to Jensen from NVIDIA, but they're going to be discussing that with NVIDIA to see whether or not they can do. I said that's really between you and NVIDIA, but we're sort of the arbitrator or the referee. It's a little rough up here. The skies are a little rough.
And just to clarify, sir, that is the downgraded Blackwell chips. You would authorize those to be exported?
No, not the Blackwell. We're not talking about the Blackwell. That just came out yesterday.
And so really the most accurate interpretation is not a whole lot happened. We're pretty much back to the status quo that was kind of early October. Still a lot of questions. What's going to happen with fentanyl? How are they going to curb it? Is China going to honor any of these commitments? We never know. It could go either way.
The answer is no, most likely.
And that's the challenge, right? It's boring. It's a wait and see, but the New York Times isn't going to do that, and neither are people on the right who are going to tell you that look, they're going to buy these soybeans. Yeah, but it's still less than they were before.
Yeah.
And it's fine. And I'll tell you, here's proof. You find this segment boring.
Well, I think it's important to point out the difference between what the media is saying, what the people on the right that just want to be kind of Trump sycophants, which fine, whatever, but just it's not reality, right? I came in and talked to Lane because I think Scott Bessent over the weekend had made some comments about this, and a lot of people started posting like, this is a huge win for the United States. We've worked out the rare earth problem, not the recent memo that went out about how to use them and if you use it to a certain degree. Not that sparked the tariffs, but the problem that China had so much dominance in rare earths that we had solved that problem. And now when we see the agreement, it's like, oh, it's a 1-year pause on a policy that didn't exist in August. So they threw something out there. We got a 1-year pause on that. They got the things they wanted. And maybe we got a couple of things sort of that we wanted. It's so unclear whether we actually did any good with this or not. I mean, maybe the markets are the best way to look at it. I think we talked about that. Like the markets are kind of mixed on this. The NASDAQ's down, Dow's up. There's other things that are playing into it. But look, if it was the win from the weekend, then, the NASDAQ and the Dow, they would be going crazy with this information. Mm-hmm. If it was a huge loss, that you would be seeing that from this. And it's not. So it just seems like middle of the road. So hopefully it's good. And I hate saying that with China, though.
And I think you guys actually, well, I guess they can't gift subs right now, but I was going to say, we're able to just sort of do this in call balls and strikes because sometimes you want to be, you want to be informed as to recent news. And if there's not much happening, we also think it's pretty important to be able to tell you, like, don't necessarily trust the folks who are sensationalizing it on either side. We're able to do that because I can tell you definitively we're funded by viewers like you. And a sponsor a day. There's no Israel money, not a dime. There's no Qatar money, not a dime. There's no lobbying money, not a dime. And name on that sign owns 100% of this company.
Yep.
We're only able to do it objectively where we don't have to clickbait chase because of that. So thank you very much. And it's boring. Sometimes news is boring. Like, it used to be okay.
Yeah. No, look, I think it's totally fine. And it's not boring when Lane chimes in and he's like, China bought none of the extra $200 billion of U.S. exports in Trump's trade deal that they signed previously. And Lane just said, they just effing lie all the time.
Yeah. It's hard to know.
I know he's animated out there about the fact that these guys aren't going to hold up their end of the bargain.
Yeah.
So, but
it's China.
Here's the thing.
Not all, but most of China.
We need to call balls and strikes on this stuff. I think that's the most important part of the story, honestly, in this particular case. But I do have a lot of trust in Donald Trump getting something done because he seems to do this strategically and get to the place he wants to go. It's just not obvious that we're there yet or that we will get there, but I'm hopeful that we will.
I will say, as it relates to China, he's the only one who's even tried.
I know.
With every other
had the balls to go over there and be like, well, fine, we'll hit you with 100% tariffs on November 1st. Why don't maybe pick up the phone?
No one.
Yeah.
No one. With every other president of my lifetime was, you didn't even try.
I know.
You didn't even try. Name that movie line. Oh, you're still here watching this on YouTube. There's no more. It's over. Just like YouTube. YouTube is over. It's not a thing anymore. How many Seth Meyers clips do you need? Head on over to Rumble. Follow me there live on weekdays at 11 a.m. Eastern, where we can actually speak freely and don't have to self-censor. YouTube it's really not a thing. Like, you ever seen one of those towns that maybe was like a mining town, or maybe they made some kind of alloy? You say, hey, I wonder what they did in this town. It takes a while to find a person who can tell you what they did in that town, and even then you don't fully understand it. That's YouTube. YouTube is that town. So go to Rumble.